Hello everybody, welcome back to Sunday Berries. Today we are going to swatch Graham Watercolors, and this is a very exciting swatch for me because a lot of my friends have been telling me to buy some of them and swatch them to see how the pigment load is completely mind-blowing. So I am really looking forward to this swatch. Graham Watercolors were founded 25 years ago here in the United States. The watercolors that they have created are also traditionally made with Northwest blackberry honey and gum arabic. I will warn you that these colors were purchased individually instead of a set, so I handpicked colors that I thought I would enjoy to have. They might not seem very bright or vivid because they are all earthy tones instead of those vivid colors that we have seen in previous sets where they have been curated to be a full-on set. These are just individual colors that I picked. We are going to go ahead and swatch them, and hopefully we'll enjoy this swatch. As usual, I will be using my Princeton Aqua Elite round number 8. So without much further ado, let's start with the swatch. I can tell you right off the bat that these are very staining colors. So be careful with them because they are very staining. Very staining indeed. See how staining. All right, so the first one we are going to be doing is maroon perylene. The pigment is PR179. It has excellent light fastness. It is staining and transparent. Here is our mastone, and very smooth, and the pigment load is completely mind-blowing. Diluted version. Wow. Does it show that I'm a little bit nervous? This is gorgeous. This is so gorgeous. This is a wow color for me. It is very brick-like, but it's kind of like a red turning into a brick color, and the diluted version is just a beautiful earthy red. We have to wait until they dry, but they look absolutely beautiful. The next one up is quinacridone violet, and the pigment is PV19. It has excellent light fastness. It is staining and transparent. Here's our mastone. Breathtaking. Oh my God. It's quite beautiful. In diluted version. Wow. The pigment load, it's very incredible. It's impressive. And the color themselves, so far very beautiful. I am very impressed. I have to wait until they dry, but look at how this one is drying. Oh my God. Maybe this one had too much water, but again, the difference between the two, it's quite evident, and it's quite interesting as well. Very interesting violet. The next one up is anthraquinone blue. In the palette, it looks very dark, so we'll see how that goes. The pigment is PB60. It has excellent light fastness. It is staining and transparent. And here we go with our mastone. Oh my God. That is probably the most beautiful blue that I have seen. It's just because it is a very down-to-earth, moody blue. And I love this kind of colors, and so far they are not disappointing. This blue is mind-blowing and breathtaking. I cannot wait to see the diluted version. And here we go with our diluted version. Oh my God, I think I stopped breathing. It's just beautiful. Oh my God. Okay, definitely the most beautiful blue I've seen in a very long time. And I'm in love with that blue. I hope I'm not disappointed when it dries down. So let's see. The next one up is olive green, and this is a 3-pigment color, PY151, PY110, PBK9. And this is another one that I picked up just because I was very curious. Here is our mastone. Oh my God, this is different. That is very different. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh my God. I think it could have gone darker, but what a beautiful olive green this is. It's very unlike what you would think of an olive green. It is very grounded, very down to earth, very, I would say like a bark green, like a bark mossy green. And what I'm talking about is that I almost can see a brown here, but it's just that that green is almost turning into, do you know when a leaf is changing colors but it's about to die? It's this type of green. It's that moment before that brown takes over. And this is what's happening here. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Diluted version. No, what is this? I have something there. Oh. There we go. Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is so beautiful and delicate. It's absolutely breathtaking in both the mastone and the diluted version. Again, it's very grounded. It's beautiful. The next one up is nickel quinacridone gold. Pigments are PO48 and PY150. It has excellent light fastness. It is staining and transparent. Here is our mass stone. It's absolutely beautiful. You can see the separation from one pigment to the other. Our diluted version. Oh my God. Look at this gold. It's a yellow gold. And that one came out a little bit long. Got too involved. Oh, it's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. But this yellow, it's a very interesting yellow gold. It almost is turning into a green. And if you look at these two together, they pair perfectly. It's incredible. Very impressed. So far, very impressed. The next one up is quinacridone rust. The pigment is PO48. It has excellent light fastness. It is staining and transparent. Here is our mass stone. Oh my God. It is gorgeous. Let's take a look at that diluted version. And wow. Oh, this is like the perfect orange. Oh my God. Talk about fall colors. These are fall colors in my eyes. Even this one. Oh my God. Okay, so this one is breathtaking to look at. It is absolutely what you would expect of a rusty color. And even the orange, when you dilute it, is absolutely breathtaking because it's not like your normal orange. It's a very earthy orange. These are amazing for me because I like this type of colors. I think the only one that is completely different would be the quinacridone violet at this point. But all the other colors seem to me like very down to earth, very grounded colors, and I am in love with them. The next one up is Terra Rosa, and the pigment is PR101. This has excellent light fastness. It is granulating and it's also opaque. Now, I am used to seeing this PR101 pigment before. We have seen it in Sennelier, we have seen it in Daniel Smith. And in both cases, I'm a little particular about that one in terms that I'm not completely fond of it. It's not my favorite color. In mass stones, it is. When you go to the washes, it's just something that I don't like, that I can't really pinpoint. But let's look at this mass stone. And oh my God, it's gorgeous. Okay. As a mass stone, I tend to love this color, but this mass stone, it's unlike any other PR101 that I have seen. This is very toasty. It's a toasty, rusted, like a terracotta color, very much like a brick color. Reminds me a lot of those Desert to Mountains from Daniel Smith. And if you haven't seen that video, I will add a card right here and you can go and watch. But this is a very beautiful mass stone, very brick-like, again, very toasty, quite different from others that I have seen. Let's take a look at the diluted version, which is the one that I'm usually not too fond of. And so far it is looking great. However, I do not see a lot of granulation. You can see a little bit of granulation here with more water, but none on the mass stone, and very subtle here on the diluted version. We have to wait until this one dries out so I can really tell if I like it or not, because usually here is where I get a little bit disappointed. We'll see. The next one up is sepia, and the pigments are PBR7, PBK6. It has excellent light fastness. It is granulating and it is semi-transparent. Here we go with our mass stone. And wow. This is not what I was expecting of this color. Very dark. It's very dark, and I think it could go even darker. I think I used a lot of water here, but it's a breathtaking brown. It's very neutral, although it has warmth to it. I think it almost leans towards the cool side. I have this idea of sepia to have a lot more yellow to it, and this one seems to be, I mean, you can tell I think it's cooler than warmer, but it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. It has really taken me by surprise. And now for our wash. Wow. I really wasn't expecting this for a sepia, that's for sure. And let's wait for it to dry and then I will tell you what I'm thinking. Yeah, let's do that, because I want to be able to tell you everything that I'm feeling and what I'm thinking. So let's wait for it to dry. I will be right back. And we're back, my friends. These have already dried and we are looking at Graham colors. And what can I tell you? This is an oh my god moment. These are absolutely gorgeous, beautiful colors. They will probably take part in my permanent palette at some point when I start building it. The least favorite one for me is quinacridone violet, and it's not because it's an ugly color or anything like that. It's quite beautiful, but looking at the others, it's the one note that doesn't go there. But the rest of them seem to be perfect with one another because they move in this toned down world of earthiness and moodiness. The maroon perylene right here, it's the mass tone, is just breathtaking, and I know it can go darker. And the diluted version, it's absolutely breathtaking as well. The quinacridone violet, it's a very beautiful violet. The anthraquinone blue, It's a wow color for me. It's absolutely beautiful, and unlike any other blue that I have seen, is that I feel this mass tone here, although I know it could go a lot darker as well, is very muted. It's not as vibrant, it's not as vivid as many other blues that I have seen. And the diluted version, it's a beautiful, very delicate blue, almost pastel like blue, and still not very vibrant but toned down. It's beautiful and it's perfect for a muted palette like this one, taking out, of course, the quinacridone violet. The olive green blew my mind as well, and for very good reasons. This olive green is very grounded, very earthy, and it's unlike any other olive green that I have seen as well. It's beautiful, very grounded. I keep saying grounded, but it's because that's how I feel about it. And the diluted version, it's very delicate and very beautiful as well. And it still carries that same tone and atmosphere that I feel from it. And it's very foresty. This is what I'm trying to say, I guess. The nickel quinacridone gold is very interesting because you can see the separation of the colors, and the diluted version brings out that yellow gold that is quite beautiful and quite different from other nickel golds that I have swatched. And the reason why I find this quite different is, again, because it seems to me to be a lot more grounded and moodier. Because if you look at these colors right here together, they would be beautiful together. They really, really match each other up. And then we get this quinacridone rust that is just mind-blowing. The mass tone is just the perfect tone of rust, a perfect brick-like color, very rocks, earthy, mountains, very natural. And the orange in a diluted version here, I'm saying orange because it seems to lead that way, but it's also still very brick-like, but this is unlike any orange out there. It still seems to be very earthy. It's just pure earth what I'm bringing here in these colors that I've chosen. They're quite interesting. The terra rosa, I don't know why I was thinking it was going to be closest to a pink, because terra rosa translates to pink earth. And so I guess I was thinking that it was going to be a pinker red, and the PR101 happened to be the pigment for this one, and it's completely different from what I thought from the name alone. This one, it's also very much like a brick, very reminiscent of the Daniel Smith version, and which was Venetian red. And this one, in comparison, would be dustier than the Venetian red from Daniel Smith. And the diluted version in this case came out to be quite interesting and quite lovely. I am not fond of it. I will be quite honest, I am not. And that's a problem that I have with this particular pigment. It's all together, but the mass tone, it's really beautiful. And the sepia, well, I don't know how to feel about this one, because for me, it's not a sepia or sepia. And I find it very dark, and I know it can be even darker. I think I had too much water on the brush, because the sepia that I poured down seemed so dark. It was almost a black. I know if I keep going over this, or if I use it really as pigmented as it comes out of the tube, it would be completely black. So I used a little bit extra water, and I think I used a little bit of extra water in all of them simply because of that fact that it was so thick and pigmented. So I tried to dilute it a little bit more than normal, and well, this was the result. And even though, and I have to go back to this one before I continue with this one is a granulating color, and I don't see any granulation whatsoever, and I don't see any granulation on this one either. Perhaps just a tiny bit, and it's very almost invisible. It's very subtle, and it's unlike any other granulating color that I have seen, that it's a little bit more obvious. So I was very surprised with this too, that even though they are granulating colors, they don't seem to be granulating. Maybe I would have to do extra test and use more pigment and more water and see how that goes. But here, for example, while this is not granulating, the separation of the colors is very interesting to me for texture reasons, and that's quite interesting. And also here, this is not a granulating color, however it seems to separate. It creates a very interesting texture. If I look at them as a whole, they are all beautiful, but this is the only different one, not as earthy as the rest of them. This would all work together because even this blue seems to be a lot moodier, a lot earthier than other blues that I have seen. Another thing that I wanted to mention, I am not very fond of staining colors. One of the things that I love about watercolors is transparency, and even though these are transparent colors, they have that staining quality. That's the only thing that I have to take into account when working with these colors, at the very least, because these are the ones that I've seen. I haven't seen any other from the Graham line. So I don't know if they have transparent colors, fully transparent, non-staining, and I wouldn't know what those would look like. But based on what I have here, the only thing that I would be very careful when using these colors would be the fact that they are staining colors. Otherwise, I find them to be true in terms of everything my friends told me and everything the website said, that these are very highly pigmented, and the load that you get in your brush, it's insane. It's insane. The pigment load is just incredible, and the way they release into the paper, it's also very impressive. So I am very impressed with Graham colors. The pigment load, it's highly pigmented, and the tones that they have are absolutely breathtaking, and that is enough for me to want them in my palette. These colors have absolutely taken me by surprise, and that's probably because I love earthy tones. So my friends, with that said, those are my opinions. I've tried to be super honest about everything I have said. I am glad that I got these colors, because even though they are random colors, they turned out to be quite good for each other. I want to take a moment to say thank you to all the new subscribers and the subscribers that have been with me since the beginning. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. I really appreciate it. I also want to say thank you to everyone who has been watching the videos. And if you are on the fence deciding whether or not to subscribe, I will invite you to do so and hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time I release new content. I would also like to ask all of you who work with Graham colors to let me know what you think, to let me know what's your experience working with Graham colors, if they have other colors that I should be looking into in terms of transparency and non-staining qualities. Please leave me comments below. It always helps. And if you like this video, please hit a thumbs up. It also helps a lot. And with that said, my friends, I hope you stay well, stay safe, and I will see you on the next one. So until then, bye.